spend.
Hey guys, today I'm going to be walking you through In Vain. This is our latest release, and so an important thing before we get started here. This song is not the only one in the project. I also have pretty much our last 4 releases here. Final Mistake, Forgotten, The Promise, and then In Vain is the final one. And the reason I'm doing this is to get a lot more consistency in between the songs so that the mixes aren't wildly different from each other. First, let's check out these guitars in the intro. So I'm going to mute that little vocal sample and let's hear how it sounds. So yeah, I really wanted this part to differentiate itself from the rest of the song, guitar-wise especially. I recorded it on the split coil setting on my guitar, so you get that super glassy kind of percussive sound. And when you pair that with a low gain type of tone, I'm just gonna unfreeze this. So here's just the left guitar. And I'm using the SLO 100 for this, so the Soldano model. We're on the normal channel, but on the crunch tone. And if I bypass this amp altogether, you can hear the DI, and the DI is like super glassy from that split coil. And then with the amp engaged. So you're still retaining a bit of that glassiness. If I were to set it to the overdrive mode, becomes a bit more muddy. You don't really hear those little pick scrapes and stuff like that. I was really trying to emphasize those with this tone. You hear them stereo. And as far as the further settings on the amp, I have the gain cranked because we're on that normal tone. I'm trying to overdrive that as much as I can in the preamp section. And then everything else pretty much set around 6 to 7. I have the presence up around 6 as well, and the depth at 5. So it's pretty standard settings for this amp. And I'm also using a custom IR. It's the Bogren Digital Gates of Hell IR. So that covers the guitar tone for this part. And a cool thing about this intro part as well is how the bass interacts with the guitar. So if I play these two soloed, so there's this kind of cool interplay between the bass and the guitar there, where the bass cuts out, the guitar does a little gallopy run, and they both come back in on that little hammer-on part. Let's hop into some of the production stuff now. I'm just gonna play the production file on its own. So this kind of quacky vocal sound, what this is I took one of Carter's syllables that he sang in the chorus. I couldn't tell you which one. And then I threw it into a sampler track, and I can kind of demonstrate that here. So I add in a sampler track. Basically this just allows you to take like a little piece of audio. I can chuck it in here and then play it basically with a keyboard. And this is essentially how I wrote that part. I just had my keyboard and I just started kind of typing in notes with that one little syllable of Carter's vocal. And then it's not only that, there's some kind of filtering going on. A really cool thing to do is just kind of take an EQ, do like a low pass type thing. And that just creates some really cool movement. I also have this Kickstart plugin on there, which this is basically a sidechain plugin. It's just ducking the volume. I'll crank it up to 100 so you can hear what it's doing. Basically creating a volume automation dip every quarter note. It's just kind of ducking the start of it. I didn't want it that extreme though. I had it around like 30%. And that just kind of creates a nice subtle pumping to the effect. And the other kind of effect that's going on here is some formant filter stuff. So stuff like Auto-Tune usually has one. Little Alter Boy is a great option here by Sound Toys. So if I mess with the formant, it's basically going to change the throat length. So it's going to sound like this weird kind of elongating of the vocal cords or shortening. So it's either going to be chipmunk or giant.
Hey guys, this is Carter, my brother Kyle from As the Structure Fails. Thanks for watching the mix preview.
So if you'd like to see Brian mix the full song, click the link in the description to join the group.
Since we update it monthly, you're going to gain access to a ton of super valuable music production tips. We'll see you in there. Cheers.